Today we're going to give you 7 Town Hall 17 war baselinks that defended in the World Championship April monthly qualifier. You can use these bases in the Clan War League or regular wars. Now, all of the baselinks you see today were built by Blueprint Pros, so if you're ever wondering about where to get an awesome base from, you know where to get it from the Blueprint website or Discord server. Now, we can see Luca here is coming in with a Royal Champion charge, and Royal Champion charges is the strongest part of the meta, kind of by a mile, so trying to defend against it is extremely difficult, and you're going to see some unique ways bases do it here, and the best way to do it is with sort of these dead zones you see on the base. Now, Luca is still going to be able to get the Royal Champion to go in. That is beautifully pathed by the attacker here, but still, you just need as many weird dead zones like this as possible to make it as difficult as you can so that the Royal Champion's more likely to run around the outside of the base. This was a really nice opener. Now, in case you're unaware, in the World Championship this year, and also for the second half of last year, all of the wars happen in hard mode because the regular mode of the game is far too easy for the pros. They can 3-star extremely easily, and then there's just no point in playing if everyone's going to 3-star, whereas on hard mode, you're more likely to get a more competitive match. Now, obviously, we all don't play on hard mode, so it is going to be slightly easier to defend. Actually, it's going to be much easier to defend, but that still doesn't mean that you can't use these to 3-star. On top of that, your bases aren't having to defend some of the best players in the world. So yes, obviously, it's easier to defend on hard mode, but you're also getting hit by some ridiculously strong attackers, and a lot of the time, it's about having a good plan and good execution, and they've got both of them. Whereas the people you're running to in your regular wars, are they going to be able to do attacks as good as this? Probably not, but you'll see it how you see it. So we can see the Root Riders going through the center of the base here. Royal Champion ability goes off super early, just hanging on by a thread here. We see the overgrowth on the back end of the base, but look at this. All these defenses going to turn in here. And whilst the Warden ability was kind of useful in this attack, you can see that the Royal Champion just didn't really set up amazing pathing for the Root Riders. Yeah, they went across the base and they weren't dying, but they weren't taking out enough of the village whilst they were invincible. This is a beautiful Tesla farm on the back end of the base. Like, how are you meant to get through this Tesla farm? It's got the Giga Bomb there. It's got the Minion Prince there. This is super awkward to deal with, and unfortunately for Luca here, gonna fall well short. Really nice base here. I don't know if I said who it's from at the very start, but these first, I think, 3 bases are all gonna be from Darkstar. Darkstar is just insane. Lots of love to him, and yeah, look at this. Big defense, even a tornado trap on the back end. Like, this back end compartment is nasty, and that's what makes a good base. In that first attack, we talked a lot about placing defenses to minimize RC charge value, and this happens yet again here. So have a look at this Royal Champion, having to use an extra invis spell so that she wouldn't go to the poison tower, to the bomb tower on the top side. Then look at this, having to put this invis down early. The Fox takes a lot of damage, and then the Fox goes down before the Royal Champion can go invisible again. And look at how little value was gotten there. And even if the Royal Champion got good value there, though, you've still got this core of the base with the 2 multi-infernos and the geared up cannon to take down. Now, this is why we saw a lot of suies like this on the weekend, where you would see the King, Queen, and the log launcher used together after the Royal Champion charge. So you kind of Royal Champion charge the outside of the base, clear some value there with your about usually 4 invis spells they were using. Then you use the log launcher, often with an earthquake, because you can pair that together to finish off the walls and the buildings nearby. And then you would use the Root Riders, and the Root Riders would only have to go around the outside of the base. The Root Riders, they're good, but as soon as they've got a wide funnel, they're kind of not OP. They're just strong. And you're definitely going to see that in this attack here. Because unfortunately, the King didn't go in the center. This Monolith has 1 HP, but more importantly, the Monolith didn't, the log launcher didn't open that right-hand corner wall on the CC here, even with the Earthquake, which means the Archer Queen's not going to nicely step in the middle and clear out that core. As you can see, Hiroya is really going to struggle with this here. And yeah, that geared up cannon does actually end up staying up, as does the multi-inferno. And you know what that means? Look at these Root Riders. They split every which direction. I mean, the Root Riders had gotten wrecked anyway, but you could see here, multiple parts of the attack here were stunted because of how the defenses on the base were set up with a really nice ring there, and getting a 1-star is kind of insane. Yeah, it's hard mode, but a 1-star against some of the best attackers in the world, you will take that. But as if that wasn't enough, this base didn't just defend against Hiroya, it also defended against stars. So we'll watch the Royal Champion charge come in the bottom. This time, it's not the Root Riders, we see the dragons, which means far more invis spells. This Fox is a moron, and that's one of the downsides of doing the Fox charge with the army. The Fox has no sense of protecting itself. So you can see, I'm pretty sure the Fox went down there. It's really hard to tell when you're not watching the live replay. Oh no, the Fox is on 1 HP. That was risky. That was risky, but well done by Stars. I mean, we all know Stars is insane. Obviously, he's part of the Blueprint team as well, and he's trying to get the Royal Champion to go into the center. This will be interesting. Does the Royal Champion go for the multi or for the Tesla? Goes in. I mean, Stars is insane. You all know it already. This guy is just unreal with these Royal Champion charges, but given this is a base defense video, we all know he's going to defend at the end, and these Ice Golems are being such a nuisance. Such a nuisance. Furnace will go down. We'll talk more about the Furnace later in the video, but the Furnace is definitely, you're going to see it become more and more part of CCs across the game, because it's just a nuisance defense. Defensive CC troop. It lasts for so long. Now, Stars was definitely hoping to get rid of at least the multi in the center and definitely the monolith. So we'll see here how close this does get in the end. Dragons going straight into the Town Hall, not making the mistake Hiroya did of leaving the Town Hall up towards the end of it. All the red bombs go off after the Town Hall. It hits some of the dragons. It does hit a lot of the henchman puppets, but have a look at this, right? We've got this sweeper on the back end, and this is where I just don't know what the plan was. Like, he hasn't popped the queen ability yet. So there was probably no giant arrow with it. I don't know, but have a look at this compartment. Completely shred all the dragons. Now, obviously, hard mode does a lot more damage. You're not going to get shredded this hard in normal mode, but you would still get shredded pretty hard. Going straight into a sweeper, poison tower, scatter, monolith, Fire Spitter. It's not really ideal no matter what form of the game you're playing. This monolith staying up is wrecking on the outside of the base, and Stars, he's not just going to fail here. This is a big fail. Unlucky to him, obviously, we all know he's extremely talented, but does get kind of done up by this base here. So this is an early contender for the best base of the video because, I mean, neither of these attacks got close at all. Technically, this was the better attack because it got 2 stars, but only 81%. Another Dark Star base here, coming up against a Royal Champion charge into Root Riders, but this time we've got the Minion Prince with the army. And you're going to see this is a similar style base layout to what we saw in the last one, wherein you've got the Town Hall kind of in an isolated Town Hall compartment by itself to make pathing for it extremely difficult. Particularly if you're starting off with the Royal Champion charge, because obviously the Town Hall is a very valuable target. And then you've got a ring of bases, a ring of defenses around the isolated defenses in the core, making it as awkward as possible to get anything to go into the center of the base. Nice giant arrow there. We've got the log launcher coming in on the short side for the Town Hall. You don't really see that too often, because obviously you're going to activate the Town Hall really early. The giant pulls the Giga Bomb. That's actually a really good way of activating the Giga Bomb. I didn't really think of that, because the giant has so many hit points. I mean, what's the Giga Bomb going to do to it? Whereas the Giga Bomb can definitely hurt that Archer Queen, and obviously you can't really activate it with Ice Golems, because you need minimum, what was it, 18 space, I believe it is, to activate the Giga Bomb. Look at this, though. This Sui gets completely destroyed, because it hasn't gotten to the Town Hall yet. I don't even know if the Yeti and the Ice Golem here will finish it off. It's going to be super close. Obviously, nothing can reach the Town Hall from that top compartment. Watching an Ice Golem 1v1 the Town Hall's oddly satisfying. Jeez, the Town Hall just doesn't do that much single point damage, does it? The Ice Golem there having its way. So we see the overgrowth in the center of the base, and that's one of the weaknesses of running this style of base, right? The overgrowth does get really nice value because now your troops have insane pathing around the base. But particularly in hard mode, but it can also be in the regular mode of the game. If your troops aren't moving through the base quick enough, what you'll find is when the overgrowth ends, you get surrounded. And have a look here, the troops are getting surrounded. Often when you do the overgrowth attacks, you want to be done with most of the base by the time the overgrowth ends, so that you just have to go back and get the stuff in the center. But when that doesn't happen, either because you're in hard mode, or the attacker just hasn't had as good a start to the attack as they were hoping for, this happens, and the attack falls apart super quickly here. And you can see Kai is going to come in just short of the intended outcome here. Still a solid hit given it's in hard mode. I mean, I encourage you all to try hard mode yourself. It is insanely difficult, but definitely not what he was hoping for. This will be the fourth and final base of Darkstars in the video. Obviously, he had an excellent weekend on defense here, and it was reflected in his offense as well. But have a look at this. Another early invis having to be used to redirect the Royal Champion, and it's not like we're redirecting her to go deep in the base, just to go the right way. And these base layouts, particularly the box bases like this, where you've got the ricochet cannon and the multi-archer tower on the outside in their isolated compartments, I find extremely frustrating to come in with the Royal Champion charge on, and I'm sure Kazuma is sharing my sentiment here. The Royal Champion goes back in here. I think he was hoping the Royal Champion would go to the Monolith. Obviously not going to be too disappointed with this, because going to get rid of the Scatter and the Multi-Arch Tower. And get... Oh, just about missed. Just about missed. Now, I am waiting for an attack where the Furnace is a bit of a pest. I haven't watched all the replays yet, though, so I don't know if there will be one. But you can see here, the Furnace is pulling the Poison spell, so not going to be able to use the Poison spell straight on the Ice Golems. The Furnace is just a complete nuisance, and because it does damage over time, if any of the Fire Mites hit your troops, you're in so much trouble. The biggest one is if a Fire Mite hits your healer, it's enough to take down the healers. Like, that's insane to think about. One Fire Mite hits your healers, and if they get no healing from a healing tome or a druid or a heal spell, if you're stupid enough to bring a heal spell, bye-bye to the healers. And that's just the randomness that the Furnace can bring. And that's just one Fire Mite. Think of how many Fire Mites come out. It is also really good at slowing down attacks. You see this mainly in E-Drag attacks. Obviously, E-Dragons aren't meta at the moment, but try and do an E-Dragon spam attack into a Furnace CC. It is the most infuriating thing I have ever seen in my life. I hate it so much. I did it once and I was like, okay, I can never do E-Dragons again, because if this happens, I'm going to be pretty tilted. I'm going to be crashing out. That's the phrase I was looking for. Warden ability here by Kazuma is actually saved really late. It was a nicely done with the Warden ability. No healing tome though. This does look like a Rage Gem attack, so not going to be healing everything back, but going to be invincible, I should say, in that Rage Tower section of the base. And you're looking at this, and it does look like a 3-star attack, but the base is going to hold on here. Just. We see the Royal Champion about to get targeted by the Monolith, and got the freeze spell for that, but it is going to be a time fail. Now, it isn't a legit defense, if that's what you want to call it, because it is a time fail one, but honestly, any defense you can get against Kazuma is huge. This base did a really nice job of making the Royal Champion charge difficult, and the Root Riders couldn't save it from there. And the last three bases here are from Tryhard. Now, sorry about this. They missed the first 30 seconds of this attack on the broadcast. Not much I can do. But it'll be really interesting to see if there's a different style of bases here from Tryhard, because we kind of got a little bit of a similarity when it came to Darkstar on how he was doing his bases. By the way, Rakira's here. This is ridiculous that he gets the RC to the Town Hall. But you saw how difficult it was, right? Could the average player redirect the Royal Champion to the Town Hall that well? No chance. No chance. Rakira's just the GOAT. So CC pulled out here, and you're going to see how much of a nuisance the Furnace is here. Because with this Royal Champion charge Mass Dragons army, you don't have a poison spell. You don't have a poison spell. And look at it. It's just being annoying. It keeps on going after the Peckers. We'll see what it starts going after now. Going after the dragons. Obviously, they've got the healing tome at the moment. But the Fire Mite damage does persist for a very long time. Look at that dragon. Completely wrecked. I'm just watching all of the fire mites, honestly. This is entertaining as it just keeps jumping and it's just slowing down the whole army here. Oh my word, like how frustrating would this be to deal with? And it's something you do need to keep in mind at the moment when you do this attack strategy, given you don't have a poison spell. What are you going to do if a furnace comes out? And hopefully that there showed you better than anything how good the furnace can be on defense. Now you do have to give up an ice golem to make it happen. Still worth it in my opinion. So the CC we're seeing currently is 2 ice golems, 1 furnace, and either the rest with archers or 1 headhunter and 1 archer. Now, credit to Rakira's, he still does get really close here. Given how dicey the start of the Royal Champion charge was going there, and also the defensive furnace, we also have an offensive furnace. Nothing worse than watching an offensive furnace target storage after storage. These fire mites are doing their thing, but they're not quite doing it quick enough. But really nice defense here. Let's jump on to the next one. And now we're back to these sort of diamond bases with the isolated town hall and just really awkward pathing throughout the base to get your Royal Champion after any of these major defenses. Now, with the 2 builder huts behind the town hall and the town hall being reachable from the fire spitter compartment, it's not as difficult as we might see here, because that is a very early recall. Beautiful spring trap there, gets the ice golem nice and early, and we'll see what he's expecting here with the heroes. Probably to go in and get the town hall and both fire spitters, but I'm not as confident that's going to happen for Rigo here. Nice spiky ball value, and the barb will finish it off. The archer queen should go nicely, and then the baby dragon on the top side. Setting a funnel for a siege barracks to come in. Surely the queen ability any second now. Oof, that's a bad Coco Loon. Who even runs air skellies these days? Always annoys me when I see an air skelly. I don't know about you guys, and I don't know why it annoys me. It just does. I'm like, why aren't you running something else? Now, no action figure here, which is interesting. Guess the action figure wouldn't have been able to do much with all the buildings over the walls. Now we see the siege barracks and the root rider spam, and it was a little time inefficient, but this is a beautiful funnel, particularly because the archer queens here should get rid of this other fire spitter, and that is a beautiful setup. So not really much you can do in terms of a base defender at this point. Let's see. Yep, the poison spell comes straight on the furnace. Yet again, you got to put the poison spell on the furnace. You can't put it on anything else, particularly even the headhunter that comes out right. That's obviously going to go after probably your Royal Champion or the Warden. You don't want that, but you can't afford that furnace to live. So you got to run furnaces in the defensive CC. I'm pretty sure every single replay today has a furnace, and I'm pretty sure basically every single defense in the entire World Championship had the furnace as well. And you can just see here, this attack is completely slowed up. Just the CC did good work in the center of the base. Obviously, the Royal Champion charge didn't get much value, but the most important thing is it didn't pull the CC. The Royal Champion charge pulling the CC does take a bit of time, but it does make it much easier to deal with the back end of the attack. The Archer Queen doing her best to turn it into a Queen charge. The Royal Champion still does have her ability. There's 3 Yetis on the outside of the base as well. The Booger is doing its best. I can't see the Sneezy, no. So the Sneezy went down. Don't see that all too often. And you see the Royal Champion ability here. Nicely placed bomb, and you know that scatter. Ouch! That's really hard to watch. That is really hard to watch. Eek. Hog Puppet not as good in hard mode. It's pretty good at level 18 though. And this one is going to fall just short on tryhard's base. Now we're back to the mass Royal Champion charge into dragons. There is a lava hound with this one, but it is ultimately the same attack strategy. And you can see here, this town hall, yet again, it is set up to be awkward to path to, but you can see where this dark elixir drill is, right? On the left side of the Royal Champion and also on the symmetrical side of the base. If these were defenses, it would be much harder to get the Royal Champion to path to the town hall. But because there's open space there, I mean, Fluxy isn't really concerned about the Royal Champion missing the town hall. She is doing a slight lap around it now, but shouldn't be too concerned. However, the aura of the Royal Champion not really getting insane value. Obviously, we pop the haste vial on the town hall there. That goes down. And now we're into the second half of the Royal Champion charge here. This base is probably the most interesting one of the ones we've seen today, because the Town Hall is the most free, and that is obviously why Fluxy went after it. So I'd be interested to see if this base worked for you all at home. I genuinely wouldn't know. I assume, you know, it can work. It's just whether it will work is a whole other thing. Royal Champion charging into those multi-inferno compartments looks like hell though. So if you're just doing this with like the Root Rider attack, definitely think it'll be quite strong. Mainly, sorry, I'm just dying on camera here. Mainly because you would need more than 4 or 5 invis to get the Town Hall down. But if you're doing a bigger charge like you saw Fluxy do here, then that Town Hall will go down kind of easily. All the red bombs get pulled in the core. That's actually a nice trick with the Lava Hound. But look at all these dragons go to the outside because no funnel was set. We have the king. Is that the king? Is there no Archer Queen with this attack? Fluxy. Ooh, that's interesting. Because we've got absolutely no funnel for the dragons, they all go to the outside of the base and they're not doing a sensational job of taking down anything of value. The Metal Pan's doing a good job here for the Minion Prince, but unfortunately that Monolith is a problem. You can see the top area of the base here shredding through the dragons. Still got the King ability though. The Minion Prince goes to Phoenix and that was nice. We've got the Gauntlet here, which is actually really nice for what he wanted to do. Unfortunately, that didn't really pan out. Annoying Teslas on the outside of the base. And unfortunately, Fluxy falls short here. Nice base again from Tryhard. Jeez, I'm making a mess of this. Probably the longest video we've recorded in a while. Now, if you're wondering where all the links will be, obviously they're going to be down in the description below. I'm pretty sure I should be able to put the clan castle with them for you guys as well. But every clan castle has been the same. 2 ice golems and 1 furnace, and then usually with a headhunter or just 7 archers. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Did you watch the World Championship qualifiers? Let me know what you thought of it. I kind of enjoyed the wars, just not the meta. The meta, as you can see from this video, is quite repetitive.